Hi, I'm Joe Ostrika from Old School Cinema, independent film production company based at Cleveland, Ohio.
How long have you guys been in the business, and what exactly are you guys here to promote?
I've been filmmaking for about 4 years now, and I started out with a short comedy called Guys and got some good recognition for it.
What could possibly be more important than getting laid?
But I always loved horror movies and wanted to do horror films, and so I formed Old School Cinema. It's spelled with an S, as in put the sin in cinema. And I wanted to do some underground B movies, exploitation films, sort of like the drive-in style movies I grew up on during the 80s VHS boom era.
Who are some of your influences? Lewis or?
Oh, yeah, I mean, my taste, Tobe Hooper, Wes Craven, John Carpenter, of course, the main icons, but I mean, guys like H.G. Lewis, Lloyd Kaufman, all the underground, real true indie guys, they're an inspiration too.
How long have you guys been putting out movies, and how many have you put out?
Well, our first project under the Old School Cinema label is the Horror Convention Massacre, and we shot that in 2006. And then we made the follow-up sequel in 2007. We just wrapped up production on The Spook Show this past summer, which will be out in October 2008. And we're getting ready to do a zombie film. So we're basically on our fourth movie in less than 3 years, so we're keeping really busy. We're based out of Cleveland, Ohio, and the Horror Convention Massacre was actually shot there at a convention called Cinema Wasteland. I've always attended conventions, loved going to them, the party atmosphere, the friendliness of the guests, and I was walking around, people wear makeup sometimes, and I was walking around one day at a convention and thought, what if that was real blood on that person? And that kind of kickstarted the idea of the Horror Convention Massacre. Setting a movie at a convention, you've got celebrities right there, and we were able to actually talk some of the guests into doing cameos, and kill people all over the hotel. So it was kind of an insane shoot. We shot probably 80% of it in the course of a weekend at a convention. But we're getting great notices for it. The fans love it. So right now, I'm just enjoying making my own underground films and keeping them under my own label, because we're progressing with every movie as far as budget and scope goes. So I'd rather own my titles than kind of give them away and just not get anything in return. Because someday, eventually, I think we're going to have a project that really gets a bigger, widespread audience, and then they're all going to be curious about those old movies I made before. Our MySpace is myspace.com/OSS projects. And you can see trailers on there and many behind-the-scenes photos and lots of information on what we're up to. We keep it up to date all the time. So I definitely want to introduce the girls. They're part of our Cinema Sirens. They're pin-up models in the old school Betty Page look, but with a modern edge. And the Cinema Sirens are basically pin-up scream queens, and we also use them in a lot of our film projects. So, introduce yourselves.
My name's Grace Under Pressure. I am a Cinema Siren of Old School Cinema, and I also filmed my first movie this year called The Spook Show, and that comes out in October of this year. Working with Old School Cinema has probably been one of the most pleasant things I've ever done, and it's really great. Everyone's equal, we all work really well together, and probably some of the best actors I've ever worked with. So it's been really great for me. So Grace Under Pressure, and you can see me at myspace.com/GraceUnderPressureOSS.